Welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever wondered what really separates the wisest people, the sages and saints, from everybody else? Well, today we're going to dive into one single profound law that's said to be the key. Let's get into it.
And there it is. This is the central puzzle we're going to solve together. What on earth is the law of Wu Wei, and why is it supposedly the ultimate yardstick for enlightenment?
So here's our game plan. We're going to start by looking at two totally opposite laws that kind of run our lives. Then we'll see how this idea pops up in different traditions all over the world. After that, we'll explore what it means to go from just knowing something to truly experiencing it. And finally, we'll tie it all together to see why this one distinction is such a huge deal.
Okay, let's jump right back to that main question. What is this secret law that creates this massive gap between people who've reached this deep level of understanding and, well, the rest of us? To get it, we actually have to start by understanding the world that most of us operate in every single day.
So before we can even touch this secret law, we gotta look at its polar opposite, the law of action, or Yu Wei Fa. You can think of this as our default setting, the operating system that's running in the background of our lives, usually without us even realizing it. So what is Yu Wei Fa? Well, it's the world of doing. It's about effort, goals, rules, logic, and labels. It's how we make sense of everything, right? We create boxes for good, bad, success, failure, and then we build our lives around trying to follow those rules. It's the whole world of striving, planning, and trying to achieve.
But here's where it gets tricky. The Buddha had a really powerful warning about living completely in this world of action. He said, it's all like a dream, a bubble, a flash of lightning. I mean, think about it. Those things can be beautiful, they feel real for a second, but they're not permanent. They're fleeting, and ultimately, kind of an illusion.
So what that really means is, if you spend your entire life chasing things inside this system, money, fame, even just trying to be the perfect person, it's like trying to catch smoke in your hands. Because the goals themselves are as temporary as a dream, the idea here is that this constant chase eventually just leads to this feeling of emptiness. Okay, so if the world of striving and rules is basically a phantom, then what's the alternative? This is where it gets really interesting. We now step into the realm of Wu Wei Fa. Now, it's often translated as non-action, but a better way to think about it is probably effortless action.
And right away we hit a paradox. This is a real head-scratcher. Wu Wei Fa isn't a new list of rules to replace the old ones. The source is super clear on this. If you can say it, if you can write it down, if you can wrap your mind around it as a concept, then that's not it. It's not something you can get by trying harder. It's a totally different way of being.
There's this amazing analogy that helps explain this. The Buddhist teachings. They're like a raft. You build it and you use it to get across a dangerous river. It's an absolutely essential tool for the journey. But once you get to the other side, you don't strap the raft to your back and carry it around, right? You leave it behind. The teachings point the way, but they aren't the destination. And when you put them side by side like this, the difference is just, wow. It's crystal clear. On one side, you've got Yu Wei Fa, rules, effort, fleeting goals. It just adds more and more complexity and constraints to your mind. And on the other, you have Wu Wei Fa, a state beyond words that you can't achieve or grasp. It's all about freeing the mind to just see what's actually there. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds pretty Buddhist, maybe a little Taoist. But here's the fascinating thing. It's not exclusive to them at all. This incredible insight. It's a universal human discovery. It pops up in the teachings of great masters from totally different cultures and times.
Seriously, you start to see it everywhere once you look. The Buddha used his teachings as skillful means, like those rafts, to point beyond the words. Jesus talked about having a clear eye, which suggests this direct, unfiltered way of seeing things. And of course, Laozi's entire Tao Te Ching is pretty much a love letter to this indescribable way of Wu Wei. They're all different fingers, but they're all pointing to the same moon.
So what is the whole point of all this? Why would anyone want to leave behind the world of rules and goals that we know so well? Well, it's not about learning a new philosophy or acing a test. It's about a complete and total shift in how you experience reality itself. A true teacher, according to this way of thinking, isn't there to give you more rules, more dogma, more chains to weigh down your mind. Their real job is to help you see the chains that are already there and to help you break them, to liberate your mind so it can finally see clearly. This Zen analogy just nails it. The first path, Yu Wei Fa, is like trying to describe a sunset to someone who's been blind since birth. You can use the most beautiful poetry, but they'll never truly get it. The direct path, Wu Wei Fa, isn't about finding better words, it's about curing their blindness so they can open their eyes and see the sunset for themselves. Huineng, the sixth patriarch of Zen, basically said it all right here. You can memorize every spiritual text ever written, but if you don't recognize your own mind, if you don't cure that inner blindness, it's all useless. The real prize isn't found in a book, it's waking up to what's already inside you.
Okay, so now we can finally circle all the way back to that mysterious statement from the beginning. All sages and saints are differentiated by the law of Wu-Wei. Now we can actually understand what that means.
And here it is, the final distinction. The difference between one sage and another isn't about who knows more scripture or who follows a moral code more perfectly. The real measure is how deeply they've moved from that world of concepts and rules into the world of direct, unfiltered experience. The real question is, how much of that raft have they been able to let go of?
And this is where it can get really challenging for our normal, everyday minds. From this higher viewpoint, even a seemingly simple question like, is it right to be a good person, doesn't have a clear yes or no answer. Why? Because good is a label, a concept from the world of Yue Fa. A truly enlightened being doesn't act based on a set of rules they've memorized. They act spontaneously from their true, unclouded nature.
And just when you think you might finally have a handle on it, the source hits you with one last, fantastic mind-bender. Even the goal of being unattached or letting go can become just another rule, another concept you're striving for. It can become its own kind of attachment, another chain keeping you stuck in the world of effort.
And that leaves us with a really powerful question to sit with. In our own lives, in our own attempts to be better or more mindful, is our pursuit of letting go just another subtle chain we've wrapped around ourselves? Is it just one more thing we're holding on to? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.